Yo, technology be pissing me off, kid. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you.
Technology's scary. It's like it can if it actually begins to do the iRobot thing, right? If it actually begins to try
iRobot's
to
not even the
murder
scary
Will
part.
Smith and whatnot.
iRobot's not even the scary one. The scary shit is the
Short Circuit?
Nah,
Johnny
nah,
Five
nah,
is
nah,
the
nah.
Johnny Five is alive.
Nah, I've heard people tell me that they don't like that movie, and I'm like,
People
fuck's
don't
wrong
like
with you?
Johnny Five. Short Circuit's great.
It's one of my favorite fucking
Anybody who says that they don't like Short Circuit
Eagle Eye is
is
what
a
I'm talking about.
bitch. Huh?
Eagle Eye is what I'm talking about. Where fucking the robots just
It's me and the Desert Eagle.
They
and the
weaponize,
Eagle Eye.
Nah, but where they weaponize like all the camera systems around the world, and they literally can see everything that's happening, and it develops their own fucking mind, and it determines like its idea is to keep everything as safe, right? And it rids the world of evil. So it starts with the motherfucking politicians.
Because you're bringing this up, I have a question.
We talked about it here before.
Are you of the mind state that if we do go full robot, right?
No, you don't go full robot.
you never go full retard. Like, yo, I was watching Robert Downey on the Joe Rogan podcast, right?
Yeah.
And he was just discussing how like he was like, I thought I was.
saw that too,
he was like,
actually.
I was okay because everybody was up in arms about the character that Ben Stiller played. He's like, there was no way in the world that movie was not gonna be an offensive movie to people. It's just so fun. If you can't laugh at Tropic Thunder. I'm the dude displaying the dude disguised. There's another dude.
Some people just really have no sense of humor.
No.
In life, and it's really I feel bad for them in a way. Like I fucking hate you because like you try to destroy everything I love, which is comedy, but also like, it just suck. It must suck to be that terrible, you know?
It's fucking terrible. Like it is. But okay, so off topic, but because I mean, that conversation might get us canceled. So, if we go full robot,
right?
Indeed, do full roboting. Do you think that they're gonna be out to murder us eventually? Do you think it's gonna get to the movies depiction of what goes on once they become what's the word what is the word that they
I think autonomous?
No, not autonomous.
Basically where they take on
cerebral when they're like become more cerebral,
when
like
they take on a consciousness of sorts.
When he dropped hard as hell.
Yo, ass plop.
What do you think? Do you think we're gonna have to fight the robots?
I think
should we start training punching machines? Should I just walk through my kitchen and just beat the shit out of my microwave one day? Just like
not necessarily that.
Just in case you were getting a little bit of an idea.
In case you thought you might be in charge. But like maybe just punching hard things, you know, so that like your fists don't hurt when you do have to go and box them.
Like in office
space. Some calluses and shit.
Just pull out the printer from the office and just beat the shit out of it. I'm gonna just walk through my fucking kitchen and throw my toaster halfway across the room, bitch.
I mean, it's kind of stupid, but what you should do is go to stores that sell those and do it. Not the things that you
beat up the appliances.
Not the things that you bought. Like we have
There's
rapport.
a guy
now.
that comes here every week and he just trains for like.
Come on, microwave. We got a rapport. I clean you every time. Like you know, I don't overuse you. You're good to go, man. Like we developed kind of relationship.
I think it's probably a good idea to like nurse the relationship and beat them up, because if they do in fact become alive, they'll remember.
I want that bitch getting out of hand.
They're gonna remember the guy that beat the shit out of them most of the time instead of the guy that treated them.
Yeah, but as a robot, I would assume that if they remember you for beating the shit out of them, they're gonna make you a target on their
Actually, they probably shouldn't remember it. They'll just wake up with bruises. Right? No, I mean, because they weren't alive, robots, they weren't conscious, and now they are. So now that if they're conscious,
you put their consciousness into a human or something that can bruise.
If you punch me right now,
right,
but my consciousness begins in 10 seconds, I'm not gonna remember that. I may be like, why does my face hurt? But I won't know you hit me.
It's like in Click when he like farted in his face and he was like, I tasted shit. Did you put shit in my lunch?
Click was weird, man. It was one of those movies where it was like an emotional roller coaster.
It was a mind fuck too, man. Look, Adam Sandler makes great movies.
People don't give him enough credit, that's for sure.
No. They just had him and Drew Barrymore. Maybe they want to do. They want to make remake Trains, Planes, Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
Whatever. You know what's in there. It's just the orders.
No, I think it matters.
Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Billy O'Brien. All right, well, we did our R&B pod last week, you know.
Because I think if you look at it, that's like
And we'll intro the pod in a minute.
It's the order in which you would try to take things. Yo, I got to get across the country. Well, see if you can get a plane. Plane's not there. Then you'd be like, all right, well, maybe a train. Train doesn't work. Now you got to get a car.
I would have started with the car.
Car? Why? You're not going to take a plane across the country?
Well, what is my goal?
To get there.
Just to get there? Or am I like trying to see things along the way? Am I like...
No,
if I'm going to make a trip across the country, I'm going to have stops on my list.
In the movie, Dick, the movie is about them trying to get home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So that's the situation, asshole.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if you're giving me a different hypothetical. Like,
no, I'm giving you the exact... We're discussing a specific movie. We didn't make this up.
Well, they're going to remake it. I don't think it wants to be the exact same plot line, you know?
Then call it fucking... anything but plain. You can't rename something the same thing and then it be a different premise.
We should.
You couldn't make
take a road trip.
Ninja Turtles and be about you and the relationship between the snapping turtle you rescued.
Why not?
Because that's not.
We should take a road trip using Route 66 and then call it Route 66 and make a movie about it.
That's super original.
Does it exist?
It's like.
Is there one already out there?
I thought you would. All right. To be honest, I'm pretty certain that anybody that's ever pitched a movie before wasn't like as blatant. We should go on a road trip down Route 66.
I'm sorry. Did you see Seinfeld when George and Jerry went to go and pitch their show about nothing to ABC? Do you remember
know that's a TV show?
Yes, but I'm pretty positive it's based on exactly how they went.
It's based on the TV show.
It was NBC, right?
The premise of that episode is based on the premise of the TV show
which is exactly how they had to go and do it. You know, like it's a show. No, it's about nothing. All right, well, welcome everybody to the Kasson Avenue podcast.
Go nowhere.
I thought we were gonna get to the intro eventually.
Hey, also, I want to put a claim. We'll put that 1 second. I've been seeing a lot more podcasts talk about their podcast is about nothing. It's like we were the first to call our podcast the Seinfeld the podcast.
And the good thing is we have it recorded, so you can see when it's actually.
I don't know when we talked about it.
Just go back and look; it's in there.
It's a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people, big or small, talk about. Our podcast is the Seinfeld of podcasts. You are not.
I'll do the pausing for you.
Listen, you are the assistant pimp. Okay, you could never be a pimp. Your family was you were raised to be an assistant pimp. You can never be what we are.
Welcome to the Kasson Avenue podcast, everybody. Yeah.
Episode what?
It's been a hell of an intro so far. This is episode number 162.
What?
We've had a few subscribers every week. Hopefully that's the trend. Like that's all I want.
That's all we're looking for.
You don't have to jump to 1,000 from today to tomorrow, but it'd be awesome. But like, welcome to the show though.
Appreciate you coming.
Thank you for subscribing finally because we've been asking for it for weeks. You know. Anyway, I'm your host Adam here with my brother Osama. Dog is here, passed out. Finally, glad that we're back. We had a little shindig for Mom Dukes today. You know,
60th birthday party.
Yeah, a little surprise party for her. You know, and we've never done anything like that for her before, so it was cool.
No, it was cool. I think it was appropriate for the birthday that she was embarking upon.
She's very much like, I don't want to be the center of attention unless I intentionally make myself the center of attention.
Mom is a simple lady. It's funny. I had a discussion with her about hobbies. She's like, you guys are my hobbies. I was like, well, we are terrible hobbies.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even be my own hobby, and I love me. Like, ain't no joke. Well, everybody knows.
Well, and the reason where, and we are. I'm dressed from the party, so this is the first time you've seen me in some sort of
What are you talking about? I got a collared shirt on too. I just changed my shoes.
The collared shirt
and I didn't have.
You didn't even have dress shoes on. You had sneakers on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm the one that looks
I have different sneakers on now than I did then, but I still have the same clothing on that I did.
Yeah. Full disclosure, this is not going to be an hour and 50-minute podcast.
I always want it to be like an hour and a half, and it just takes some other levels.
We always start ending it. We begin ending the show at about an hour and 30. We say, we got sneakers.
Hey, we should do
and then it just goes further.
We should do a pod in the fashion that Nas did at
Rewind?
Yeah, man. Just start at the end.
Explain to me how you would how do you see that going out?
So
playing
we say
out in your head?
we give them a little sign off if you never make it to the end, we usually say, we'll say music in the background. Shout out to rest in peace to DMX, all of those important things. We always, say, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like us, follow us on the socials, tell your friends. Just before that, we do sneakers, I'm not saying that we have to rap it backwards, not in that sense, but like, Benjamin Button, start at the end, and then we end up at the beginning.
What was my Benjamin Button? What was the he came out of the pussy as a what was it? I forgot how.
I think it was that he went back into the pussy.
Oh yeah, he went back in the pussy at the end.
I mean, the goal is always to get back into the pussy, not that.
Man, we've been potting a long time for me to forgot my Benjamin Button theory.
Well, yo, man, last week or a couple weeks ago, we were talking about being at 300. Now we're at 305. You know what I mean? 305 in my yayo. Something like that.
We have 305 subscribers?
Yes, sir.
It was at 304 earlier. Look at us getting subscribers and shit. Welcome, y'all. Welcome.
Let the applause rock.
I can't hear it. I don't have
Oh. Let's see when the button goes off. That's for us. We deserve that,
Yes.
And you deserve that.
Yep.
For once.
Yes, for the people. Not the fucking foot freaks, okay?
Listen, they're probably the subscribers are probably them. I don't know if I told you. I don't know how many times. My man, you took your shoe off and scratched your foot, and they were like, "Oh yeah." Remember when Dave Chappelle found out that all he had to do was just sign the paper, and they gave him Maui Wowie, a whole pound of it, and he just all in his blue jumpsuit was pretty gross. Yeah, I'm pretty sure what happened when you did that.
Okay.
You're like, "Here's my foot," and they were like, "Oh my God, there's his foot," and then the guy was like, "Hey, there's his foot," and then he like timestamped your foot.
That was nasty. Don't click on that timestamp. Mike was like, I was like, what the fuck?
The people who that timestamp was for, they know already. They know. They clicked on that shit.
They know.
And they were like, I guess we can subscribe.
Weird. Anyway.
Happy birthday to Mom.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday to Mom Dukes. It was a fun party. Listen, nowadays it's hard to get people to come into do anything as a collective. So
we haven't had a family party in a long time. Honestly, like we've canceled Christmases that we usually all get together.
Always, most of our Christmas or
not that there's many other parties outside
holidays
of that,
are more just the immediate family.
Yeah.
So the amount of people that we were able to get there today, the amount of.
But just to show you that COVID is still being a fucking wrecking ball to people's plans, like there was mad people that cancanceled because they got COVID at the last second.
They were exposed to COVID, yeah.
So it's still a thing that's fucking up parties.
Yeah, but for the show out, the turnout was good, and honestly, it was just nice to see who came. You wish you could see more and see others that we haven't seen in a few years.
Some people I'm comfortable only seeing periodically, but some of them I'd like to see them a little bit more often.
Agreed. I don't need to see everybody all the time.
Nah, but
or ever.
To
some
your
people
earlier,
I do want to see sometimes.
To your a couple weeks ago point there, everybody was maskless. We all just chilling.
Yeah.
Everybody was relatively close quarters, kicking it, whatever. Got a big ass cake and whatnot. It's like a 50 person.
Yeah, it wasn't. Like it wasn't bad. It was a nice turnout. So, I don't know. The next time we see everybody, it could be some time. I don't even think I didn't say bye to like.
And opposite shout out to some of the uncles and shit who just like didn't feel like leaving their house.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Like I often feel that way, but come on now,
Yeah,
it's Mom's 60th birthday.
But it was good. She enjoyed it. Mom's a simple lady. Again, like I said, she don't need much. But for her family to be around, and that's
her thing, man.
Yeah, she got good values.
Yeah.
So there's that. But,
seems nowadays that all you see.
What else? Today was in the sneaker world, because why not? I mean, I think
Nike's
you're gonna.
holiday release. Let me check my Foot Locker.
Y'all might could get a 55-minute podcast out of me today, maybe, because I gotta get to the crib and take these fucking shoes off.
Yeah, I don't know. I would honestly expected that you grabbed like a
pair of sneakers.
Like a little.
I wasn't even thinking about it.
Change your kicks or whatever.
But. The Jordan 11 Cherry Reds came out today.
The holiday release.
I heard they sold out very quickly, and apparently there were large stock numbers too. So I'm not sure exactly what is going on with these apps. It just seems like.
So in other words, motherfuckers wanted them shits.
I was talking to a good friend of mine, Brandon, and he's a sneakerhead for sure. He's got.
Oh well, sorry, I didn't win this release.
in regards to people I know that have a lot of sneakers, he's probably got the most, I would say, of people I know personally. He's got somewhere over 300 pairs of sneakers.
He's a 12s guy, right?
Yeah, and I think he's probably got enough 12s to match how many shoes I got, you know. But we were talking about how there's not any real good alternative to the apps. And in terms of Flex app, you got Foot Locker, you got JD Sports, you have fucking
even Dick started doing those releases and shit.
All of these places, it doesn't matter. Even on the night when you try to buy like the Pandas on the Nike app, there's no real conceivable win that's possible for you.
And you stay tuned, all you freaking sneaker freakers, all right? Because we're going to try to eventually probably see what's up with getting him on here. We could talk about have a shoe day.
I asked him the other day, I was like, yo, we were talking about it. And he's like, he's down. So I said, maybe in January.
Yeah, I used to run into my man's periodically just in the store over here all the time.
No, it would be a good conversation. You know, we were talking about how and I know we've talked about sneakers a good portion of, but honestly, it's
there's a big sneaker behind me.
It's the end of the year. It is the end of the year, and during this time, there's a lot of sneaker releases, right? For instance, they had the Amamanier 4.
And I'd like to just bitch again about the fact that this is just another fucking sneaker release, holiday Nike release that I get. Yo, my birthday is in 5 days.
You got to try to get some.
You son of a bitch! They never give it to me.
I think the Gorge Greens are supposed to be coming out. Did you see those? The Jordan 1s?
I'm about to take a Nike.
But you got the Pine Greens.
I'm about to take one and just throw it at a Balenciaga window and say, fuck both of them.
Double, 2 birds, 1 stone. But then you run back in there. I still want these. I still want to take these home with me.
I just go to Marshall's and get one of them ugly ass pairs of Nikes that I'll never fuck with, and then I just buy it like for $25 or something like that. Fuck you, Balenciaga and Nike. Both of you together suck.
Oh man. But, I was thinking about shopping with Complex, right? Sneaker shopping with Complex.
This is what they do.
So if you're not familiar, Complex, the media giant, I guess.
Sure.
They do a segment on YouTube called Sneaker Shopping with Complex, where they get local or not local,
hot names, in the pop culture realm,
large celebrity names to come and do a shopping and interview.
Recently had one with that man right there.
Yeah, but they do like a shopping, a sneaker shop. Oh, I thought you were pointing. A sneaker shopping / interview type of thing. And
the interviews are obviously largely based around sneakers, and like for Stone Cold, for instance, when he did his, they're talking about the 90s era, what he was wearing, when he was wrestling, and
And I was asking Adam, do you think that they make these people pay for the shoes that they actually leave with?
I said I'm pretty sure they do, because my man was like, I've never spent this much on shoes before. Wow.
That being said, do you think you would go? Would you be on the phone like, wait a minute, are you guys paying or do I pay? Because if you're paying, I'll come. But if not, I got other things to do that day. I'm not going to come shop. I mean, I get it. It's a rollout.
No, okay, first of all, they usually have people who already have all the clout that they need, right? Like, they're not trying to go and pick up necessarily an additional audience. I don't think Stone Cold needs a complex audience, or he's not looking to like add them to his repertoire.
Then why would he have done it?
They asked him to. Yeah, he was looking out, whatever. But I think like what I would do is,
why would he be looking out for complex? He has no.
I would only do it if it was like, maybe one of my mans had a consignment shop and he was trying to get a little bit of attention to his place. Or if they asked me, I would make sure that we went to one of those places. Like, my man has a shop. Well, I'll go with you. We can record it, but we got to go there.
I think they go to the same shoe store of all. I think it's probably going there. It's got to be probably like a sneaker store that's somehow.
I would rather do it and help I'd rather help somebody with a smaller fan base. Like,
right, I get it, but
somebody who is recording,
what if they don't allow that?
Well, then I wouldn't go with Complex. I'd say like, sneaker shopping with the Kasson Avenue podcast.
Oh, we could do that.
You know what I mean, like, we could
nobody will watch.
No, but if we had a celebrity who wanted to come with us, then
who's
for sure.
that?
My man, it's just hypothetical. You know what I'm saying?
Who are we going to convince to come to our show at a sneaker store to do an interview, and then they got to pay for the shoes they leave with?
Maybe we can get them to buy us some shoes instead.
You are wishfully thinking, my friend.
I'm just saying that if I was like in a position of notoriety and I had all the money I really needed, and I out there trying to like pick up extra funding, I don't know what he's up to these days, but I think he's all right.
I mean, I the last I seen,
I know he does his like podcast, and he did that straight up Steve Austin shit.
yeah, but I've been seeing him recently in a Winnebago. He's been doing he was doing daily workouts. It's hilarious. Stone Cold doing daily workouts.
But yeah, if I was like in a notable position, had
What if
funding,
you went on Instagram and Stone Cold, those reels where they do voiceovers? Here today, I started today with
I think he should like do audiobooks.
Stone Cold audiobooks would be hilarious.
There's somebody like who let's say that you didn't like books or you didn't like your self-help books and you wanted to read something else. Who is somebody who could do an audiobook for you that you'd be like, I'm reading this book, or I'm gonna
All right,
listen to
am I
this.
looking for entertainment? Am I looking for
Just something that will bring you to a book?
Sounds educated.
Something that'll bring you to the book.
Something that will bring me to.
Say you didn't have any fucking clue what the book is about. It had just like some off-brand title.
What would you do if you were assigned or made to hear an audiobook, and the book is?
I just want to start reading books and doing audiobooks.
What would you do if you if you were assigned and it was mandatory? I don't know why it would be mandatory, but let's just say in your life randomly you were assigned to listen to an audiobook. The book is Hamlet, and the narrator is Sylvester Stallone.
It sounds just like a Family Guy sketch.
Hey, speaking of that, did you say Family Guy or 70 Show?
Family Guy.
Okay, so 70 Show. Did you see the?
They have a release date for that 90 show now.
They have
January.
They have
Finally, something to look forward to after December. All right.
So they have a trailer, and I listened to it without the sound on because I wasn't able. I just came across it. I was like, all right, well, let's just see if there's any of the old faces. Only besides the
Kitty and Red.
There's nobody.
There is, but they're not going to be on the show like constantly. And I think it's only like a 10 episode thing. I don't think it's an ongoing series.
Are you sure? Like,
just based on what I read, I think it's 10.
It doesn't seem to be good though. I'm not hearing good things either.
It hasn't even been out yet.
Based on the preview, apparently people are not really feeling it.
I'm still gonna watch because like I'm a big That 70 Show fan. I know that 80 show flopped, but also the cast was completely different, and they're gonna have. So I don't really know like. You're gonna have a new group of kids.
I told you they should have just had the original cast and just make them call it that 2020 show, and it could be today, and it could
they should have them in Corona lockdown,
them.
and they were just like at a Airbnb house together.
Yeah, they could just be themselves. Like I'm 100% certain. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess you can't have Danny Masterson anymore, but
well, he's in the middle of trial now, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of trials, R. Kelly dropped new music.
Oh my God.
Kales! Yo, he put an album out, and
which is already gone. They pulled it again.
Yeah, they pulled it, but apparently the music was
old
old music, but it was called I Admit It. Now, I have so many questions. One, my first question is kind of answered. Is this old music?
I don't
how did he
even
how could he have achieved the ability to record an album in jail, and who would allow him to record such a thing? Are there any features? Who are these features?
Because you never seen when they do that shit like over the phone?
Yeah, I know. I heard Shine.
They had like Max B did that shit.
I'm sitting in
I guess like if you
you're like, yo, I need you to just rap when you get home, yo.
I just you know what, the only thing I'm curious about is what kind of experience is R. Kelly having in jail? Like what is his day to day like?
That's what you're thinking about?
I want to know what are the trials and tribulations facing R. Kelly in the penitentiary today?
I know this isn't a funny topic, but it is pretty funny.
It's gotta be like, I don't know, man. But like he's famous, so you think there's like that special treatment.
Fish.
But then there's also he's a
fish.
Yeah.
Fish.
You're not a fish. You're a man.
Fresh fish on the line. Like, oh no.
Also, I'm stuck in the middle of like applause /
Do you think they're making him do like what was Ben Stiller's name in Tropic Thunder?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since
So do you remember when they were making him perform all of his movies, but they weren't when he wasn't performing it the way he usually does? They like beat his ass or like smacked. I forget what they did, but they were mad that he wasn't performing the way he was supposed to. You remember that?
I do, yeah.
What if that's what they did, like for R. Kelly? Like, no, make
Well,
it
wasn't he
sound
doing like
you
performances? Like they had him doing performances. I'm pretty sure.
Who?
R. Kelly.
I'm wondering, do you think that that's what's going to be the thing? Like,
There should be like, there's got to be a window into the goings on. Like I want to know.
Sure, do you think the CEOs are getting a kick out of it?
I think when somebody of high profile person goes into jail, I think it's a big headache for the CEOs. To be honest, there's got to be more on top of things. They got to be paying more attention in today's day and age. In jail, there's cameras everywhere. It's not like back in the day where you can kind of just. Oh, yeah. That makes enough sense based on his character itself.
Robert Downey is Kirk Lazarus. Brandon Jackson, Al Pacino, remember? Alpa.
But see, that's what when you think about Robert Downey's character in that movie, how's that much different than the fact that Cleveland and Family Guy is not voiced by a black man?
That's also very funny to me. I'm not going to lie to you. I think out of sheer irony, you should have allowed him to keep doing it.
I think he did.
He's still doing it? I think they took Cleveland off.
No.
They took out who?
Yeah, but that's different.
Who need the quickie part? No, here's the twiggy part. Who wants to ride with me? Thank you. Come again.
Yeah,
that's racist now. People be like, "Oh, you can't do that."
Or you might have gained us a bit of an Indian following. I don't know.
You like Indian voices? People got candid Indian male play.
I mean,
whoa.
All right, this episode is over.
Soon. Y'all getting enough.
I mean, I don't know why you can do a British accent, but you can't do an Indian accent. What's the difference?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
I can.
I mean, not like your physical abilities to do so. I mean, like in the public. Fuck the public. I'm tired of their whining ass shit.
The public is
yeah. I want to like celebrate the fact that Brittany Griner is home, right?
Yes.
So applause for that. It's nice, awesome.
Start with the love.
I'm in a rock and a hard place. I'm a
bit concerned about who we gave up for.
That's my thing, right?
Listen, like we're sports fans, right?
Yes.
Now let's say that.
And while I don't watch the WNBA, I support your ability to play basketball, man.
What was the guy's name? The father of killing people. What was it?
He's the
serpent of
Lord
death?
of War. Yeah, he's something like that.
Well, listen.
There's something of death.
If it's any of the
Merchant of Death. There you go.
Yes. Any of the names we just threw out there,
if there's something in your name that implies that you are apt at making sure people are dead, then you probably should not be released.
Is a great comparison, but let's say we're the Bulls and it's 96.
Mm-hmm.
We got MJ, Mr. Merchant of Death here.
My man back for a full season. Okay.
Right? Then you got trade talks. Talking about trading him, right? And the person you're talking about trading him for is, I don't know.
Detlef Shrimp.
I mean, there's plenty of people you can think about, but let's say it's Detlef, all right? Let's say it's Detlef Shrimp, and I don't want to say Brittany Griner is Detlef or Detlef is Brittany. I don't know who was better and who's worse. I don't care. I just feel like one side, if that trade happens, is really gonna win that trade. That being said, Russia won this trade pretty outright. It's like one-sided.
Yeah.
Happy for Brittany. Glad her family has her back. It's awesome.
Glad
she didn't deserve to be in there for weed or a weed pen.
Agreed.
Now,
I just believe
that is
there was another person who they could have at least got a 2-for-1.
Well, no. The thing is, they weren't going to give that guy up because they thought that
they got the Merchant of Death back. You couldn't just give up that one other dude.
Well, of course not. They won this trade. If they give the other guy, now they lose.
I think they still win.
I don't know.
You got the biggest arms dealer ever.
What if
motherfucker, you won that trade regardless as long as you got him back.
Just hypothetically and for fun.
You think they're gonna kill that guy?
No. Hypothetically and for fun. What if they're like, oh, I can't wait.
Was he in Guantanamo?
No.
Oh shit, Gmo, you need a cock meat sandwich, did you?
So, dude. So imagine they're like, that was his boy, right? When he went away, like that was my guy, like, and he was like, he knew him to be a certain way, and like he's like, all right, we got to find a way to get him back. So they get him back. And
Half baked.
He's like, yo, I cannot wait for my boy. Once he gets
we just started this because my man got locked up. You know how it is, Samson.
when he gets here, it's up. It's up, right? And what if he comes back and he is like a changed man, right? Like all around. Like
Tupac.
He was straight. He came back gay.
I'm a changed man.
He was like he was a murderer. He came back a priest.
There's a pop culture reference for everything.
Just imagine all of these things, right? So he comes back and he's like super like peaceful, flamboyant, and all that, right? And then he's like,
why does he gotta be flamboyant and peaceful?
Because I told you he was
probably more flamboyant as arms dealer.
I told you he was straight, and then he went to be gay from hot.
But didn't you say he was a priest?
Huh?
Oh, never mind. So you're right. That doesn't technically work if you're out. But
out of what?
Like in the real world, right? If a priest is gonna be a priest, he can't technically be gay, at least not where everybody else knows, because it's the religious thing.
Well, the thing is, I'm saying he can't.
But I guess when you're just touching young boys, it doesn't count. I don't know.
I'm not even saying he did that.
No, I know. I'm just unpacking everything you say.
I'm just saying, what if he comes back and like they're like, this is not who we thought we were gonna get, and like, what if now he's like the annoying?
That's why I said, do you think they're gonna kill him?
Annoying best friend that and he can't kill him because he's his boy, right? He feels like he owes him something. He went up for him for like 25.
If you're talking about Putin, I don't think he feels that way about anybody.
You never know.
I think they might kill Putin.
Maybe this is his guy.
I think there's gonna be some triage, and somebody's gonna end up killing him. Whatever the name of the word
triage is, I think
espionage.
Yeah, I'm pretty
something
sure,
with age.
I'm sure triage is like in hospitals where you like are trying to save people's lives.
They're gonna send him to the triage unit.
But I think again that's counterintuitive because they're trying to save lives in the triage.
Yeah, but he's gonna have
If they really wanted him dead, they would send him to like the bottom of the ocean.
A pair of cement shoes. Yeah. Anyway. Well, listen.
That seems like a lot of work.
To dip their feet in cement, let it fucking like
we'll
sit here for 24 hours. We'll be back.
I imagine a lot of like trial and error in this, right? Like Adam, I'm bringing him over to the water in like 25. Make sure you got that shit ready, right? So maybe you used the wrong concrete as quick set, right? So we try to put his feet in there. Right, but the thing is,
I really just believe
the concrete's already blocks, so now we just got two big ass bricks.
I think that they have somebody stirring it up in the back.
We just tie it.
Somebody's stirring up that quick dry shit in the trunk, right? And they knock this dude out cold.
Quick dry in the trunk.
The quick dry in like a little tub,
heavy concrete.
A little tub in the trunk. You only need it for his feet. A little tub in the trunk. You knock dude out cold, dip his feet in there, and put him in there. He's already knocked out. So by the time you arrive at your destination, it's already dried. You just toss his whole ass in.
Is he awake when is he like standing up?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to let him know what his fate is going to be. So he's awake at first.
That's fucked up.
The mafia is cold-blooded, man. Allegedly. I don't know anything about him. Listen, man, I love my Italian people. So yeah, listen, we're definitely glad that Brittany Griner is back home.
Yeah, I just
especially like all the reports about her.
Of, like the trading skills that the U.S. used in this one.
Listen, I don't know if they trusted Biden to make the calls on this thing.
He's getting old, man.
All of them are old. Get all these old fucks the fuck out of here.
You know what I realize is I'm not
even like completely on him now because the student loan forgiveness shit seems to be out of the
I don't know. That's pissing me off because I got the confirmation and then nothing.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to get these shits the fuck out of here.
So
I want to pay you.
I just have stopped paying attention to politics. I've decided that
there's only so much you can stop. I don't even watch the news and I still see it all. I'm barely on social media and I see it.
It's impossible not to. It's all in your face. I've decided that that's their world. Regardless of how I feel, what I do, or what I try to do about it, that world will continue to exist. Now, it's up to me to decide what kind of effort I want to put into like trying to change it. Because either way,
however, find it funny that Herschel Walker lost. So,
okay, I have something to say about that. Right, I was coming from Mariano's, in Des Plaines,
right,
and the guy that works as the Santa for the crooked ass, what's that Salvation Army shit? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, the dingling.
And they have the littlest red hole. You got to like literally fight to get it in
dollar bills into it. Like, this is stupid. Anyway, he was talking to some old ass white lady, right? They were talking about the election. And he was like, are you paying attention to this Herschel Walker thing? So I started walking slower so I could hear their speaking on it because, you know, older Caucasians are going to have a specific view. So,
and the Republicans, and he's a black guy.
They didn't disappoint. So this guy said, yeah, I mean, he's like,
you got what you expected.
He's like, regardless of what you think about his politics, I mean, you kind of got to want the guy to win. I mean, he's got a good personality and he's a good looking man. I was like,
you started talking about Twilight.
He was talking about the man's looks. I wanted to stop and be like, are you serious?
Dude.
You are basing who you want to vote on by the fact that you're a closet gay who wants to have sex with Herschel Walker.
They're very stupid.
Listen, not
group
that
of
there's
voters.
anything wrong with that.
No. But
And
they're a
whatever
very
you want to
stupid
do
group of voters,
in your private life.
Like their whole idea behind backing candidates has nothing to do with anything political.
Dude said
other
he's
than the
a
fact that they're
good-looking
party.
man. I've never heard anybody say you should vote for him. Why? Because he's good looking. Like, dude, did you just say that to me? I'm surprised the lady didn't look at him like, and you work for the Salvation Army.
It doesn't make any sense. Like how you gonna base your voting decision off that? But it's funny because they were talking. Like I watched Jimmy Kimmel's clips the next day on YouTube. I'm like, whatever. I always have that shit popping up on YouTube, and he's just talking about like he basically started talking about Twilight. Like he's talking about vampires and werewolves and shit, and that's pretty much where he lost everybody. Like nobody knew what he was talking about from that point. Herschel, yeah.
He said he was talking about raccoons and.
Did you see the Joe Budden latest episode? He was like, "So why do they call us that?" And then Ice was like, "Because we got the black around our eyes." Like, I was like, I don't think that's it, but
I don't know that that's I mean, it could be very well the. Listen,
I don't know, but it was a hilarious conversation.
I will never give the whites of the 40s and 50s the benefit of the doubt to think that they were more clever than to come up with something with that reasoning.
It's true.
So
I always laugh at those conversations with them because I'm like, all right, so you got Joe Budden, Ice, and Ish, and then whatever other dudes in the back. But then you have Parks, and Parks is sitting here like, I'm like the whitest of all the white guys. I don't know where I fit in with these conversations.
I mean, I can imagine he's got to tread lightly in some of those.
Oh, for sure, because they also have a big following. If we say something that's inappropriate, we're not going to. We ain't like that. But like, we have 300 people, and they probably live in a different country.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you lose 300 people. I mean, we want you to stay, but it wouldn't be the
We're not
worst
pieces
thing.
of shit to that level anyway.
Like
so.
trying to build up 300 subscribers to me. I don't feel like it would take as long the second time around if we gave it a shot.
I would like to assume so, but we're still in the midst of this, and we still are having a hard time.
I told
our people don't even follow us, man. I told you, I went on my Facebook, got 600 plus friends. Interesting, because I don't have 600 subscribers on my YouTube channel, motherfucker.
Listen, we know that you're not going to get a lot of people to support because people are the worst.
Well, listen, man. Happy Brittany Griner's home. Hope that nothing crazy comes out of the fallout.
Can I say something without being chastised?
I mean, I don't get chastised you unless you talk about LeBron.
There was a video, right, of her on the plane, and they were like talking to her, and she replied. Now I paused the video after she started talking because I kind of thought it was a voiceover. I think her voice might be deeper than mine. They were like, "Do you know where you're going?" Where? I was like,
she was just in a very traumatic situation. I don't know. Like based on her conditions, it could be that she got some throat thing happening.
No, I was like, what the fuck?
And the internet is the internet, so it could always be a voiceover.
That's why I thought it was a voiceover. I was like, this has to be a voiceover. There's no way that this is her real voice. So I listened to it again.
Like, it might be her real voice.
Matched up well. There was like no delay in the voice and the lips.
It's not like one of them old school Chinese movies.
No, it's like no. So I don't want to sound. I listen. She's got a deep ass voice.
All right. Well,
I kind of got jealous. I was like, well, damn, man.
I'm over here with this little bitch ass voice.
Talk like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
put some bass in your voice.
Put some voice in your what? In your bass.
Rest in peace, Kirstie Alley, man.
Yo, rest in peace.
I know that she has some weird political views, whatever. But she's one of my first Hollywood crushes, man. Kirstie Alley.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Because Look Who's Talking, all them shits back in the day.
Look Who's Talking came up like when you were born.
Yeah, and I watched them shits not long afterwards.
Some of the funniest movies ever.
It was, and I'm just telling you, Kirstie Alley was a bad woman back in the day, man. I don't know. I remember her being one of my early crushes.
Kirstie Alley could have got it. Laid on. Like, listen.
Do you hear about like how Ted Danson found out
that she died?
Yeah.
No.
Fucked up story. Like he was apparently like in the airplane or whatever, and like some old school Cheers episode came on, and he was sitting there watching it, just laughing, whatever. Blah, blah. And then he landed, and he found out she passed.
Damn.
I was like, that gotta be a little rough, you know?
Yeah, because I mean that was a big thing. Damn, you just took some. I was gonna say something.
About Kirstie Alley's Finest?
Oh no, about fine older women, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you?
I do like fine
I don't
older
know
women.
if people have seen the videos of Martha Stewart with just the apron on.
Oh, she's over there trying to thirst trap. She's kind of old though, like she's like in her 70s.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, for that, she ain't looking
You
bad,
think Snoop hit it?
huh?
So you think Snoop hit it?
No, I think they're too good of friends. I'd hit.
I don't know, man.
You wouldn't hit Martha Stewart?
I mean, we got like real high together, and she cooked me a badass meal. Maybe.
I'm saying that's probably what she might give you some like
Fucking
DIY shit for the crib. She might like brush.
I'll say this. She probably, but I would prefer if she was like 20 years younger.
She got a good personality though, right? Like you could tell she's like,
Yeah,
she's probably a little freaky.
Yeah, probably. You know, roll around in some flour and shit. Just trying to cook. I don't know.
That dry ass flour causing friction that
That's
you don't
true, and
need.
she already old, so that just adds to that.
Look like you tap, it's like those old ladies that look like if you tap them, dust will pop off like like an old ass couch
Like,
that's been sitting in the basement for too long.
Like when Chris Tucker was talking about Miss Parker, and he was like, I beat the dust off that. Like, actually dusty.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, yeah.
Clearly, we're a bit bashful this episode. So
I'm not bashful.
Did you hear about the couple who died at 100?
Oh, within like an hour or two of each other, right?
Married for 79 years. They were probably at that same rally that Jerry Jones was at. Cool story, you know. I imagine that
like a damn snitch, like you about ready to go tell on somebody right now. Yeah, I guess.
so it's a heartwarming story, you know.
Yeah,
I don't see me being able to tolerate the same person for 79 years. That's
well,
just me
I mean, if
personally.
you are, I would assume something like that would happen. They both turned 100.
True.
You know, they've been together a long time. Like, you got to think about it.
Can't
I mean, you could
have
probably, at
one
that
without
point,
the
I would assume
other.
that whoever went second kind of willed their way out.
Yeah, probably. I don't mean to make a super light of it, but they're 100 years old. They live to have a
They
long
lived
life.
a very long time.
They got to have each other with each other the whole
obviously
time. You know?
very in love.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you got to clap it up for a long life like that for sure.
Yeah.
The idea that two people that have been together so long, you know, how they say when women are in the same office or live together or whatever, they start having the same menstrual cycle. I'd assume it was something similar to that.
There was a. Have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
Hell for like think about John Ritter in Three's Company. Like, both y'all bitches got your shit this week, huh?
Have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
Some of it.
I forgot what it used. I think it was like the walrus effect, right? So like after if you are around somebody for a while and you're not like sexually attracted to them or whatever, so they start off as a walrus, right? It's like the walrus to like the dolphin. I don't forget what fucking analogy they used, which two animals specifically, but they chose aquatic animals for whatever reason. I think it's Neil Patrick Harris's theory.
They went from like a piranha.
So then you spend so much time around each other, and then eventually like, you know, you start to enjoy each other's company a little bit, start to vibe, whatever, and then all of a sudden they don't look so bad, you know? And then you end up smashing. And then, so I was like, you know, I mean, I guess that could happen after 79 years. I'm sure that in that 79
You think that happened with them?
I'm sure in that 79 year period,
at first?
they probably started, and then they were like, oh, now you're a walrus. And then they're like, oh, now you are
I'm sure
there's
in 70 some years of like being married, I'm sure that there are stages of
7
you know,
years.
a divide and then rediscovery.
Yeah.
And probably repeating that multiple times.
I would only imagine, you know? I could only imagine because I ain't been with nobody for 79 years.
Dude, I can't imagine. I don't want to work at my job for more than I've worked there now. And
I don't want to be at my job for 7 years, never mind 9.
You know? Oh, shit.
Yeah, those are the important things that I had.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I brought up the Last Supper earlier. Now, I don't have anything.
Do you think that you say more controversial things, or did I say more controversial things on
I
this
think
pod?
I might. You
I take it too far.
sometimes you just like to keep going. I introduce a lot of fucked up topics, right? But I bring them up because I like to make fun of things.
Well, I also inappropriately laugh at things. And
That's
a problem.
You know, I think we're equally as offensive, probably. I'll take that one.
Word.
Okay.
Pod 5, man.
Hell yeah. So the Last Supper, right? Didn't look like it was that great a dinner.
Did they know it was the last one?
Jesus was standing up, right?
That was before he got killed, right? By Judas, right? Or who?
That's why it's the Last Supper.
Yeah, but did he? So only Judas knew. He's like, I'm gonna kill this
Fucking
motherfucker right at the end of
Judas.
this. You son of a bitch.
The Last
You
Supper.
bastard. That's what I'm gonna get. That's gonna be one of the drops I put in here when Peter Griffin says, "You bastard."
Okay. So if you look at this, right, the Last Supper, I guess it's indicative of what's going on. Jesus is by himself, like, nobody likes my meals, right? So, like, look at it. The other guys are gossiping about, look at this motherfucker over here.
It kind of looks like, based on like the people who are close to him, like kind of off to the side. It's like
I guess.
It's like in How High when he started. He's like, with all due respect, sir, suck my dick, and they're like,
right? Like, I don't get what's going on. Like, is he the only one that's eating? Because it doesn't look like there's much food on this table.
Looks like a lot of whispering.
I think
going on.
The title "Last Dinner" is a little.
Supper.
It's not as. It's loosely. It's a pretty loose description of what's going on here because there's not much food. It's a bunch of bullshitting going on. Jesus looks sad.
Is that what they? On death row inmates, how they give them like one last meal?
Yeah,
is that what this is based on?
But there look like bread and like.
Nah, I feel you.
whole
But
bunch of empty
is this
plates.
what is that what those meals are based on?
Was this at Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
Was it Christmas?
That it can't be Thanksgiving yet.
Did they have Christmas yet? Because
no.
So did he? Okay,
I don't know.
Because Christmas is based on the birth of Jesus
That's
Christ.
a good question.
Right?
Did they celebrate it every year?
Well,
It's your
that's what I'm
birthday. It's
saying.
Christmas.
That's what I'm getting at. It was Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ.
And people
right?
get mad at me for taking a week off work for my birthday, man. Fuck y'all.
Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ, right?
Right.
I will never be I feel bad about taking off for my birthday or my week. Whatever.
Hell no, man.
So, was there Christmas every year after that?
After he was born?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they called it Christmas.
They call it Jesus?
Well, like, think about it. As the story goes, he was a carpenter and he died in his 30s. So if my
Who's
man,
got more nicknames?
if my man had a regular
Jesus or Jay-Z?
oh, Jay-Z for sure.
Really?
I think so.
He's kind of his name is Jehovah. Kind of. I mean, it's kind of like whoa.
Jehovah. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's why. Hove, Jigga, J, William H.
All right. So how and Jesus has what? Jesus.
Oh, we can all
Christ?
say young.
Listen, I ain't trying to bring it up to be anything, but I'm just saying it looked like I wouldn't go to that dinner.
Listen, guys, I think I've said this before, but like, if I have when I say guys, I'm talking to not just you.
Okay, I'm here.
But when it comes to religious things, I often only say things about them because I have questions about them. Because a lot of it don't make sense. And I feel like if you blindly follow things without questioning it, then use the sucker.
And what is Easter? Easter's the celebration of the death of Jesus?
Easter is the resurrection. Back up in that ass with that resurrection.
It's kind of like celebrating the death of Jesus.
No, it's celebrating the real life.
I don't think that's a word.
Me neither, but I made it up.
Re-life?
The rebirth.
The rebirth.
Yes.
So
Lil Wayne.
So he was on the cross. He died.
But ain't no two Waynes.
And no disrespect, I'm just questioning here. So he dies.
Well, no, you can't even listen.
He didn't die there?
Some of the Christ-based religious don't have him dying on the cross. So I don't really know.
He just chilled there for a little bit, and then they took him
It
out?
makes zero sense. Like this right there, that tells you that this shit ain't based on any fact. I'm not disputing his existence because even Islam has him in there.
Yes.
Like as dude Mo said, he's like, I love Jesus. He was Palestinian.
Tell that to a white person.
The white people don't like to hear the truth.
Santa Claus is real. He's a white man.
Who was I talking to the other day? And I said that, like, if I was a parent, I wouldn't have my kids believe that, like, Santa Claus is real and that the Tooth Fairy is real. I would have them believe that one or the other.
Well, which one would you choose?
I don't know, but Probably I would tell them that the Tooth Fairy is real. And
Really,
Santa
the
Claus
Tooth
is
Fairy?
not.
There's some bitch that comes flying in their crib and just steals their teeth
and gives them and leaves them money in there. Yeah.
I think that's
Eventually they would know.
I'm gonna say the Tooth Fairy is based on something that's a lot more sinister than what it's become.
It's true.
It's probably about some like.
Didn't they have like a horror movie version of it?
The teeth are worth money, and the children.
Motherfucker over here trying to pull the teeth out of your mouth and shit.
Remember with the Hansel and Gretel thing we rented?
Oh my god! Why do they have multiple name versions?
We watched that whole movie like this. When is I
don't think old dude from Avengers is in this movie.
Where the fuck is dude supposed to be? He's supposed to come beat these like they ate those kids.
Well, look, the way I figure it, right, is if I tell them, hey, this person is real, but this one is not, then their only logical explanation would be like, oh, well, why would he lie to me about this if he told me the truth about this? Right? It doesn't make any sense. So I can at least keep the lie going.
So the Tooth Fairy is the one that you would choose.
Yeah, nah, because I'm not giving Santa Claus credit, motherfucker. I go out there and spend my money on these gifts.
Are you?
Fuck wrong with you?
You have kids, right? Are you introducing religion to them?
I would introduce it to them to let them know what it is, that it exists, that there are multiple different ones. I mean, they're gonna hear about it early on, but obviously, like, I don't go to church, I don't go to a mosque, I don't go to any religious house of worship right now. So, like, they're not gonna grow up with that kind of structure. If I had,
right, I'm just saying hypothetically here.
So, like, I don't know, but once I feel like they're able to grasp what the concepts are a little bit, and then they can start kind of researching it and doing what I would kind of really push, and where I'm at in life, if I was going to go and like try to follow any structured belief system, I would choose Buddhism.
Yeah.
Only because like when you learn about Buddhism, you understand that it's about like not finding happiness in materialistic things, but you can also go and celebrate any religious holiday you want to.
What if you met a monk and he brought you to the crib and he had all materialistic shit, like Benzes and
he's like, yeah, but if I lost it, I'd be fine.
I don't need this to survive.
I can quit anytime.
No, there's some to that. I definitely.
Obviously, though, there's some of those monks that just had that story nasty ass shit doing some.
Yeah, I heard about that. If me and Vivi have kids, it's gonna be that. I think those are major points in relationships, like because points of contention.
You have to have a wrinkle that's ironed out.
I have no intention to raise. If I have a kid, I have no intentions to raise them in a religious manner.
Yeah.
I intend to relate to bring them up as with the human decency and to be a good person.
This may sound stupid, but
understand, like, you don't need religion or anything to be able to be a good person with good morals and values and good upbringing and to have a genuine concern for your fellow man. Like, you don't need religion for that.
Adam Sandler's theory in Big Daddy, right? For the most part, on point. Obviously, there's certain things like you got to make sure you bathe your child regularly. You don't want to be the stinky kid in class. But
you got us in trouble.
But you give them choices. You let them know, hey, this is what the world has to offer you. I'm not going to force you into anything. You're an individual. You may not be an adult yet, but you're allowed to form your own opinions. And I can tell you, if you're able to do them while you're in my house or not.
Yeah.
But like, you're going to understand what is out there, what's available, and you can choose what suits you the best. Like, there's no recipe that is 100% the same for everybody. No, there's not. And
I think that's important to figure out. But
I'm gonna have them sign up for a sport every year. Hey. If you don't want to stick with it after a couple of weeks, that's great. But go and try it, see how you like it.
Yeah.
Find a passion of yours.
I'm big on the idea that I think that raising people to believe, now there may or there may not be, I can never say, right? But I'm just saying objectively, to raise somebody to believe that there is a afterlife, right? I don't believe it's the greatest way to go about it, because I think that when you instill in somebody at a young age that there is a possible heaven or a hell, right? Because we don't know. And anybody who says, oh, there is, based off faith, that's fine, but you don't know either. Shut the fuck up. So
a lot of those things are like weird too. Yeah, they'll say like, oh, if you commit sins, you're going to hell. But if you repent, which means saying that
I don't pay attention to that. But what I'm saying
all
is
like weird
to let a child think that there's, let's say, for instance, there's a heaven, right? Meaning that after you die, you go there. So now for your whole life, you kind of have this I didn't do it this time, but next life. Like almost like I didn't get to it this life, but next life. You should always be I think you should raise somebody to understand that though there are people who believe that there is an afterlife where you will live for eternity and whatnot. And idealistically, yeah, everybody would hope so, right? Everybody would hope that after passing, you now live forever with everybody you've ever known in eternity in a heaven somewhere.
Heaven got to be big as a motherfucker.
There's a lot of people that's died. Anyway, but this is what you would objectively want, right? I think nobody would dispute, oh, yeah, that would be great. But let's speak probably in a realistic terms. We don't know. If there is, great. But to be honest with you, I shouldn't be raising somebody to think that there is one instead of making the best of the life that we have now. Right? Being honest, to be honest with you, and that goes for all spectrums of life.
But being a morally good person.
Morally good.
But not being focused on like spending every day worshiping.
Yes.
Living in the fucking church or mosque or whatever whatever it is that your background calls for. But like instead of dedicating 20 hours a day to that and then sleeping and waking up and doing it again. Like, why would you need 8 billion people on Earth to do that?
I mean, I think thinking that this is your only life.
It just paints the picture of God having an enormous and endless ego that he just needs mad people here to worship him.
But and that's something that they would describe as not true. So, but what I'm saying is like to be surprised that there's an afterlife would probably be the better thing for everybody. Nobody knows, right?
Well, again,
nobody can figure. Nobody would ever be able to tell you that.
It's my big contention with religion in the first place is that it's all theory.
It's all theory. Yeah,
nothing is proved.
And if there is, listen, we can never claim to say we know.
Right.
I'm just saying,
if there is,
if we're speaking objectively, nobody knows.
I have dead loved ones who I'd love to see again too. So it'd be awesome if that's the thing. But I'm not sure that it is. You know, right. I'm not gonna live every day as though that's what I'm banking on.
You shouldn't be doing that. I think because. To be surprised would be cool, but also to then, if this is your only life, to realize that you only get this finite amount of time with mom and dad, right? Mm-hmm. That means you'll probably spend a good amount of time making sure that you get to absorb all the time you can with them, to chase dreams that you wouldn't have had if there was an afterlife that maybe you can chase it later. Yeah. To be a nice person all the time. You know what I mean? Like to respect folks.
Religion is there. It's literally like reward and punishment based, right?
It's fear mongering.
Yeah.
In a sense.
So it's like we want you to behave in a certain manner.
I think the original intention was that.
Yeah.
To control.
Well, that's organized religion in general, right? Yeah. It's to try to get a certain behavior pattern out of you.
Yeah.
So if you behave this way and you follow all these rules, you're gonna have a great afterlife. Okay, well, I don't know when that is. My life is finite here, and who knows, maybe it's 100 years. I'm going to spend my entire time with that. Or if you break these rules, you're going to go to hell unless you say, forgive me, Jesus, I am sorry, I did not mean it. Then you'll be...
You saw when Mo went to... didn't they bring him to... who the hell what did I just watch recently? They brought him to a confessional, but it was Mo, the TV show, because his girl brought him to the confessional over there, I think, if I remember correctly. But I got no problem with anybody being religious and being devout to it. But I also believe sometimes it's a disservice to believe that there's an afterlife, and there may not be, because you don't.
The world just has so much to offer.
You're not living your life to the fullest. That means that. You feel like the fact that you didn't get to see this, that, and this, and the third, wherever it is in the world, like, oh, this wonder of the world, or this specific place you wanted to try, or, anything.
That's why, like,
if you only have one life, I think you live in you
live more intentionally.
More intentional, more understanding of it, like knowing the clock is ticking. So you have to live intentionally and for the moment and for the dreams that you want to achieve. And believe me, I've been trying to fight myself from to start acknowledging these things. Yeah. It's difficult. And
that's why for as stupid as a lot of the concepts that Family Guy introduces are, a lot of them make a lot of, like, all right, I'm not saying go and create a Church of the Fonz, right? But like, if you find something that you're passionate about and you want to spend your time focused on that and you learn about it, like, it doesn't have to be church per se, but like,
whatever your church is,
find a passion and live out that passion. It doesn't. I don't think that like I don't. I neglect the concept that you're gonna be punished for like not spending all day.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think that's again.
Like, why would he put
the original intention was to, and we can get off of religion, I guess, after a certain point. But like, I believe the original intention earlier on was to maybe get people to be distracted and to be controlled. So if you get people to think that now they have to worship and they have to do it in a specific manner all the time, that means they're kind of preoccupied with that without really acknowledging what may be going on elsewhere in their society, and then to control is to make people live within guidelines that you've created for the way that you would like them to live, to make it easier on yourself to do things that you want to be getting done. And I don't know if that's true or not.
It's a function of government, ask me.
It could possibly be.
But I also just think like, all right, let's say that there's a big man in the sky and he created all this. And,
it's a big dude if he's
and he has 8 billion people out here.
Lifts weights. He'd just be up there like,
well, what else is he doing? Got to be bored.
These motherfuckers won't shut up.
I think who was it like?
It's like, why can't I just shut them off for a few minutes? Got to put these fucking weights up.
What was that dude? Pomp, whatever on Insta.
Yeah,
I think he posted a graphic showing like how the world population has changed, right? And it's like over the last 2 centuries is when like 6 of the 8 billion people have come to be. That's fucking crazy.
I told you it's too many.
Like the growth rate is insane.
It's too many.
But I'm thinking like, okay, if there is this big man in the sky, he created all this. Why would he want you to just spend all your time in a church worshiping him when there's like all of this that he created? He wants you to go and see it. Like there's so much of the world to explore.
That's valid.
You know what I mean? Like I want to go and see a lot of the creations, the nature-made creations. Let me go and see the fucking waterfalls. Let me go. I was just watching that Joe Budden Humans thing when he talked to the dude who did the Antarctica walk.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And he just like talking about all the shit that he explored.
Steve Madden one right now.
Oh yeah, I just finished that one too. But he was like doing he's talking about all the shit that he explored, and I'm like, yo man, like
I want to read that. He's got a book. It's called the 12-day walk. Something like that.
Oh, because that's how we finished at the end.
Yeah. I want to listen. I'm probably gonna read that. But then there's the alternative to that. That what if there is no God, right? And this is all just nature that's created itself.
The Big Bang Theory is true and whatnot.
And then you go and you're like, all right, well, if there's no God, then there's no afterlife. That means that there's no second chance. That means I only got this. I need to go see these things. You know what I'm saying? Like it lights a fire under your ass somehow to not think that.
And it's fine to have like that
even
thought.
If there is a God, but there's no afterlife, which wouldn't make sense. Why? But. We got sneakers.
I'm just saying, if there's a God, I think it would appease him more to go and appreciate his creation instead of just stay focused in one little area of life.
I agree 100%.
Anyway, what do we are? We're not scholars, so whatever.
I'm not.
We don't have. I have sneakers. I don't know what you got.
I got some.
Them ain't sneakers.
I got some dress shoes on. Y'all ain't never seen me in some dress shoes.
Hey, I bet you he can wiggle his toes quite good in them.
I'm wiggling them right now. You guys can't even see them. Yo, if you guys like these, call the rest of your foot friends and tell them to come subscribe.
I think some of them have done it because, I mean, the fact that we jumped to 305, you know what I mean? Like,
that's cool. I'd like to see it at 105.
Flip that shit, 503. You know? Yeah, that'd be nice too. That would be nice. We've been doing this long enough to net that shit.
I mean, yes, I think so.
I just threw on these little dunks, you know. One of very few low tops that I have in the collection. But I got a sweater that matches this blue coming.
It's not here now, though.
And so I bought the sweater with intent to match these shoes, you know? So,
and you know, in full disclosure, we're actually recording this on a Saturday night, not a Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we got some stuff to do. I'm gonna try to get Adam to come tomorrow. He's not sure yet.
Well, we'll see what's happening. You know, I would like to go down to the gym on Monday. Dave,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. So that's what you mean by trips.
Well, I have that, and then Wednesday I'm gonna go get a haircut. So it's just like mad back and forth.
At the same time,
and gas
I mean,
is mad expensive. I put $25 in my tank today. She didn't even give me a half a fucking tank. I'm like,
if you don't
knock over the microphone.
If you don't come tomorrow, try to come next. Because I mean, you get to see everybody. You know, at least once. You haven't seen probably anybody this year other than Max.
I feel you.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, if not, it's okay. Either way, we got that. So
shout
that's
out
why
to B and
we decided
there, you know,
we're going to do the party, and then we're just come do this quick pod. That's why y'all getting a short one. And still, we gave you over an hour, which is like, I know that there's other pods out there, but we do an hour without thinking about an hour. So, give us some support.
Usually we do like an hour. And what you usually get, the end product, I usually end up cutting 5-10 minutes off of it, you know? Especially like if I feel like we got into a conversation and just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, let's just cut a little bit of that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, again, we appreciate everybody, but you know, I hope that it shows that we care enough to keep going.
We 162 in, man. We only got 305. You know what I mean? That should tell you everything you need to know right there.
Yo, if we reached 305 without the subscriber count jumping again when there's in our episode count, I'm leaving.
Oh, real fast before we get out of here, I was watching this clip, and they're talking about T.I. because
when he snitched?
They said that he snitched. He was like, "Listen, man." He was like, "It was my cousin.
He's dead."
He was like, "My big cousin. He died. He gave me permission."
He said he talked to him. I was like,
he gave me permission.
T.I. has lost his fucking mind.
Listen, man, for real though, I don't think you can call it snitching if the person you put it on passed. May he rest in peace. Is better than me doing jail time. My man's already gone. Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm doing it.
If I'm putting somebody else in jail for it, I understand. But
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm doing the same.
I'm with T.I. in that, man.
Like it was him.
Hey, man. That guy right there?
I didn't do it.
With the tag on his toe.
The dead guy. He did that. I ain't do none of it. He did it all.
Love you, baby. Man, I see you again. I see you when I get there.
You get up to heaven, he beat your ass. That's the only time.
Motherfucker, you snitched on me.
Speaking of afterlife and
He's in hell now.
Speaking about afterlife and no afterlife.
He went to hell because he snitched on him. Hey, man, I heard you did that shit. Go down there.
We aren't done. We will be talking about this next week for sure. This is not a done topic.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the episode today. I've been having fun this episode. It may be short, but hey, man, it was fun.
We've had a long day. Forgive us.
True. So thank you for tuning in to the Kasson Avenue podcast. This has been episode number 162. Happy birthday, Mom Duke.
Happy birthday to Mom.
Shout out to everybody who's out there having a party, doing things, you know.
Yo, Adam, what day is your birthday?
Friday.
So yeah, Adam is gonna have his birthday.
Keep that up.
Adam will have his
33.
Third birthday.
Yeah, I used to want to call it the Pippin Day, but I don't.
Now he's uncomfortable. He lost his mind. But no, Adam's birthday's coming up. Mom's is obviously, so if you guys, listen all the way through, go ahead and say happy birthday to them in the comments.
Please do.
It.
If
I
not,
we'll remind you on Sunday that you didn't.
In advance, I appreciate the wishes because I know some of you going to be out there like, yeah, or maybe not. Anyway, we do definitely appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to the new subscribers. Welcome. Tell your friends. Let's get more of y'all in here. And
we appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And
holla at you at once. Oh, by the way, go to the Instagram account and tell us whose shoes you like.
Yeah, start voting. If you also haven't been following IG, it's the Kasson Avenue podcast, right? On IG.
I don't know if we'll have one this week because the competition's kind of weird.
Yeah, this week might be a little different. Maybe if you come tomorrow, we'll do a sneaker competition through that way.
Something like that.
Send me what you're gonna wear tomorrow, and I'll send you mine. Later, y'all.
All right, man. Peace.